Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Naomi, the multi-stitcher. Welcome for those who are new to my channel. This is a channel where I talk about all my cross stitch, and welcome back to all my returning subscribers. So it's been a while since I've done a Flosstube, but uh, that means that I have a lot of stuff to show you and update you on. So the first project that I'm going to show you is a new start and a finish towards this month. This is a picture of how it's going to look like once it's done. It is basically a logo from the Witcher series, for those who know and play the game. And this is how it came up. So it is done using anchor thread. It has around 18 to 20 colors, and it only had around 3000 stitches to do. It was a small finish, and I thought, why not finish it now and then have another finish. So that is what I've done. The second project that I'm going to show you is Stitch. So as I've told you last time, it was a difficult project to continue on. I didn't have any motivation to continue it. So I've split the project into, I don't know if you can see it, yes, into separate milestones. So in this case I have 7 milestones to do, and what I've worked on is, yes, the eyes, okay, yes, exactly. So what I've worked on is this part, the eye, part of the eye, and the nose. I don't know if you can see it correctly. Part of the nose is done, the blue part. I've done this so maybe I would get some parts there and done. However, in this case, like that, it got me some motivation to do it on, but it's not the one of the first projects that I'm going to pick up. The second project that I've told you that was a difficult project to get me motivated to work on is the Pokemon project. This is going to how it's going to look like once it's ready. And again, this project I've separated it into different milestones. In this case, I have 13 milestones to do. One of them is already done, which I'm about to show you. And I've worked on some milestones on it. So what I finished on is this flower right here. I'm trying to get it So this was one of the milestones. I finished it. Number 3 was one of the stars, which was this one. It's almost done. The eyes, yes, one of the eye is done. Did I work on the nose? Don't think so. But yes, I got some of the face done. And this one done as well. So I've done pretty well on it. Pretty good job on it. Even one of the ears is started as well. So I can see some progress on it. I need to get this going as well, because this is a present which I need to finish up to Christmas, because it's a Christmas present for my niece, and she's a fan of Pokemon, so I have to finish it, although I got some progress on it. The next one, which I'm about to show you, is the cottage. It's trying to focus. Yes, for the cottage. Okay, that's how it's going to look like when it's done. And this is the progress that I have so far. It's a pretty good and easy stitch. A lot of blocking to do, so it's it's pretty easy to work on. Not that much confetti, apart from the trees and my goodness, the cottage itself. However, I have some pretty good progress on it as well. And I think by the end of the year, this is going to be finished at the streets. I worked on some bits here as well, and part of the sky. I'm almost halfway there. Next progress that I would like to show you is my pillowcase, although this, as I told you, I don't have any motivation whatsoever on it, because it has a lot of white background. I've tried to work some bits and pieces on it. So, this is how it's going to look like once it's done. Now, I've worked a bit on the background, if I am not mistaken. I can be wrong. Yes, I worked. I got a thread there and then to finish this. Wait, it's not focusing. Yes, like this. I got this part done. As you can see, it's not a lot of progress, but as they say, if you get a thread, one stitch counts as a progress. So I am not in a rush to finish this in particular. It gets finished once I'll get it finished. Now on to the most progress that I have, which is my peacock. It's not focusing. Try. So I have a white peacock, yes, like that. There you go. White peacock and a blue peacock, and this is the progress that I have so far. This is, since it has white background, it's not showing. Okay, like that is perfect. So in this case, this is one of my favorite projects that I have going so far. I love how the colors are blending in together and it's giving that vintage look. It has 40 colors, if I'm not mistaken, yes. And it is a 46 by 46 centimeters. I'm so going to have the second peacock showing. Like this, I have half of my the this peacock's body done. I have my first peacock's body done. If we look at it closely together, we would notice that now I'm going to start with the feathers and the white peacock would appear. So if I move on to the, in this case, the right side, in this case the left, but it's opposite, it's showing opposite. So right side of of the project, I would soon have the white peacock's face. So that's pretty exciting to cover. So moving on, um, yes. So I'm going to show you my first Heaven and Earth project, that which I started. This is how it's going to look like once it's done. Um, and this is the progress. Am I showing? Yes, this is the progress that I have going. One, apart from the peacocks, this is the second most favorite project that I have going. It's stitched on a 22 count linen 1/1. I know it's supposed on linen it's 2/1, but I'm enjoying how it's coming so far. I started at the bottom left corner. I first started blocks, 10 by 10 blocks, finishing 10 by 10 blocks to try to finish the a page finish. But I was seeing on YouTube different diagonal stitching, methods of diagonal stitching, and I switched this into diagonal parking. And as you can see, this part here was before I started the diagonal stitching. At the moment, I'm finishing. I'm on my. Let me tell you quickly. I have my stats here. So I'm on my 1, 2, 3, 4, on my sixth diagonal. and I have 5008 stitches ready out of 280,800 stitches, and I'm at 1.78%, almost 2% finished. This needs to get out again. I love this. But what I'm going to show you now, you would realize why I did not get it out again. So, throughout this period of not uploading another Flosstube video, I've started, apart the Witcher from the Witcher logo, I've started two other projects, which are this one, Mulan. It's a DIY project, although I'm a bit skeptical about the brand. This project in particular turned out to be 30 colors, so I am not complaining about that. It is an 11 count, and it is a 50 by 65. It's a pretty slow start, but I started at the top right corner, which would be this part here. I'm just on the border here. Mulan is one of my favorite princesses, although she's not considered as a Disney princess. I consider her to be one. And it was calling to me, so I said, why not start it? Another start, which I've started around 4 days ago, is the Stardew Valley. So there is a series about this. However, I did not start the seasons yet. I started the Stardew Valley home. This is how it's going to look like once it's ready. Okay, I love how pixelated it's coming. And give me a moment. A lot of stuff done. This is how it's looking. I have 791 stitches done over 13,676 stitches, and I have 7.58% ready. This has a story around this, because since I did not have any any thread cards to put my colors on it, what I've done is I've grabbed cereal box, and I separated into different colors how many I wanted. So in this case, this project has around 28 colors, and I've grabbed the cereal box. I've cut them into pieces how many I wanted, and then I've cut into small shapes so that the thread can stay there. And this is a method which I will keep on using so that if I want to start a new project, I'll have the floss ready. I do not need to stay buying or buying on a new floss card, or else waiting on one of my projects to be finished in order to start it. Like that, I would have it ready and dusted, and if I want to start it, I can start it. Last one to show you. So last time I've shown you that I have my Disney characters started. Come on, focus. And I have started this part, my left ear. And da-da-da-da, I have my left ear almost done. All I have left is Mulan here. And then I start on his main face. I have the white. I'm finishing as I go along. This is Mr. Toad. I think it's Alice in Wonderland, Dumbo, and Hercules. Next up is Mulan, and here would be Cusco. This is a pretty fun and exciting stitch to do. You have different motifs going on there and then, so if you want to finish just the cup, for example, you can just get the stitch and finish the cup, and you'll have that motif ready. So I think I'm going to get it out today and finish Mulan here, so that like that I would have the ear ready, and I would finish some of the white on the right side and at the bottom left. So next I want to show you some charts which I have and want to finish and want to start, Ansi wants to start. I just need to plan when I start them and see from there. So the next one which I have is my watercolor rodeo. Why is it not okay? There. So my watercolor rodeo. This is a present which I would like to give once it's ready. Now, next one is the many faces of Jason. So, who is a fan of horror? And this is the one you need to get. So, basically, I got this from Etsy. I don't remember the project or the name of the shop, but this is at Etsy. You can find this project. Next up, so those who know me would know that I'm a Potterhead. And the next stop is Gryffindor. Gryffindor is my house color, and it has 115 colors, so it's going to be massive, and you'll have a lot of detail. Since I bought that chart, a free pattern came with it, and this is what I have, which I really, really love. So this is a portrait of Harry Potter, and it's like hand painted, which I think this is one of my next projects which I would do and hang it on my wall. That is my next, my dream. Next, we have Hogwarts and Phoenix. This is how it's going to look like once it's done. I love how the Phoenix has the different colors whilst flying. Next up, we have the Hogwarts sunset. So, like the castle with the sunset, having the sunset on it. Think compared to the previous one, this is my favorite one. Which is ready now. Since I have the Witcher logo, I have the Geralt and Ciri pattern. This is a project which I have to stitch it for my boyfriend. He told me you have to stitch it. It's a must. It's one of my favorite posters that I have, that there is, so you need to stitch it. It has also on the pattern mixed stitches, so that is something that I haven't done yet, so it would be a challenge, but I love how the colors blend together. um Moving on, I have, this is my dream as well, to stitch this. So this is the Murderer's map. It's not coming, it's not showing properly though. The only thing that there it's the only step which makes me not to stitch it is that it is massive. The stitches on its own amount to 651,600 stitches. So in order to get to a 1%, you need to stitch like 10,000 if I'm not mistaken. And an estimate roughly, which is daunting. However, there is always a time for everything, which I think at the moment that is out of the question. Next up is the Generation 1, the Pokemon pattern. Again, this is something that my boyfriend would like to hang in his office one day. This is something that I plan to start next year, but I'm deciding that the white background I would not stitch it around the border, not between the Pokemon themselves. Around the border, it's not going to be stitched. So next we have, let me see this. Yes, so Rivendell Last Refuge. It's a stained glass style. I've already stitched uh, where the dwarves passed through by boat. That was already stitched. Since I bought that, I have Frodo Baggins. Wait. I don't want to show you the pattern. I need to show you the mock-up. So I'm expecting a lot of grays, whites, blacks. I love this kind of style. Black and white is my go-to painting. Even when taking pictures, I would edit them to black and white. I love how they come out. And if not this year, no, and if not 2025, this is going to be probably staged at 2026. Next, what I told you before um, about the Stardew Valley series, I have. Wait, come on. So, this is spring, how it's going to look like. However, this is not Pattern Keeper compatible, so I'm showing you from a PDF. You need to um, print the pattern. Winter, if there is backstage, like very few backstage. We have summer. Why is it not? Okay. We have summer. We have autumn. That is how it's going to look like once it's done. Now, I don't know what I've showed you last time, but I have some heaven and earth designs. If I've showed them to you, I'm going to show them to you again. So, have the butterfly forest. This is artwork by Jim Zuckerman. Uh, Color Me Beautiful, I told you about it. That is artwork by Pat Brennan. Bubble Telescope by Ciro Marchetti. That is how it's going to look like once it's done. This is with max colors, so I need to buy like 240 colors. Oh my goodness. But it's fine, we'll do it. Crows. One of my favorites, if I'm mistaken. Yes. I think next year this is going to be started for sure. I love how the purple colors blend with the navy blue, the blacks. I don't think if there's any blacks here, but it blends so beautifully that it draws me to it. Next one, it's About Time, also one of my favorites, by Ciro Marchetti. In it's not. Okay, here. Oh, beautifully, beautifully done. Even the shadow, just looking at the shadow of the clock itself, the different parts, it's like you would question yourself, will it ever show once you're stitching on it. Then when you're looking at Facebook groups such as the official Heaven Earth Design, and you see it worked on, and you see the shadow coming through, you would notice how realistic and true to the pattern the stitch is coming. That is what fascinates me. Nevermore by Amy Stewart. I'm drawn to old school. So when I'm seeing the violin and the crow next to each other, even the notes, it's not showing that much on here, but on the sheet of music, there's the musical notes. So I'm curious to see how the music notes come to this turn while stitching. Steampunk Dream, Jenna della Grottalia. So this is basically how it's going to look like when I'll manage. Okay, so this is also, it has a lot of bright colors. So I'm assuming, so when I'm in my happy mood, I would stitch this. Tear It Down by Ciro Marchetti. An illusion. I mean, why why can't you? Like, it gets me so gobsmacked how this type of painting would turn into cross stitch form in this manner. Time Goes by Pat Brennan. Also very fabulous picture. Okay. So next up is the travel bookshelf. So everyone was talking about it and stitching it at the moment. And I decided why not challenge myself to do it as well. This is the world travel bookshelf in this case, and this is how it's going to look like once it's ready. Very, very intriguing to see how all the places, all the countries are going to show and blend with each other. Next up is Zodiac Set by Ciro Marchetti. This is one of my favorites as well. Next up is Zootopian by Jim Sugarman, which would be this one. Next up is Golden Gate Romance by let me see, Dominic Dabison, uh, which is this one. So many bright colors in this one. Sunset at Saint Basil's, the same by the same um, artist. Okay. Next up, Possibilities of Evie Revolution. It's by the Walking Melons. Definitely would be starting this next year. Okay. What else? Now, Heaven and Earth Designs had two. I don't know if they're up still, but they have two freebie charts, and one of them was the freebie Steampunk Owl, which is by Malcolm Watson. It's a very cute and wonderful stitch. On the official Heaven and Earth Designs, one of the cross stitchers is stitching this, and this flower looks so beautiful while stitching. I am so interested and excited to see how the owl itself would be shown. That is fascinated. Now, next one is The Forest Maiden. It's by Michelle Sayata, and this is how it's going to look like. Also, very beautiful. I love how the face turns out. And the lighting on the face. Next up, lot of Heaven and Earth. So, next one. I want to start this next year. This is a mini virtuous plumage by Steve Hanziker, and this is how it's going to look like. So this is one of my first WIP minis, the only mini I have, if I'm not mistaken, and I love how this bird blends with the colors of the flowers and the water. Exactly, that's the only mini I have. Next one is Howling at the Moon by by, oh my goodness, wait, the White Studio. So this is how what it's going to look like once it's ready. Let me try and get the mock-up version. Yes, there you go. A lot of blues here. Next one is Roseland in Repose by Whimsy T. This called to me. I don't know why, but when I saw the artwork, it called to me. Next up is Ursula by Michelle Sayeta. Look at it! I mean, how can't you not? If these designs on the cat itself and the butterfly show up to this, I mean, oh my goodness. Next up is Venetian Fairies by Alex Levin. It reminds me of childhood. I mean, my grandmother used to sew us, my sister and myself, carnival costumes. And it's not the first time that they went to Venice and they used to buy us those masks, Venetian masks that they have. And I have some of them hanging in my wall, on my wall. So, I mean, and this spoke to me regarding my childhood. The next two have a story. Let's start with this. So, the small Mag- Magellanic cloud. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. It's by Michelle Sayeta, and this falls under NASA. Now, and this is how it looks like. At the moment, my boyfriend is interested into astronomy. How am I going to say? Yes, astronomy. Taking pictures about different stars, and he's into space. Let's say that. So I said, why won't I stitch this and he'll have it hanging in his wall on his wall and say he has this to look at. And that is basically it. The Astronomer, the same by, wait a bit, I'm trying to find, yes, by Miles Pinkney, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And this is how it would look like. And the same thing as before, I bought this because he's into telescopes as well, so I said, why not? And it reminds me of him. So those are all the heaven and earth designs that I have. The rest are all exactly. So the next one up is Fantasy Castle pattern found on Etsy. It reminds me of the Disney castle. Next up, I bought some picture charts from Pain Free Crafts, and these four are a season stitching. So let's start Summer Montage by Janet. Janet Stever. So this is the summer montage. Okay, spring montage, all by the same artist as before. Okay, next up we have winter montage, and we have autumn. Lot of orange. Next up is by, so we have the Botanical Garden by Rose Catherine Can. It's a very large stitch, but I loved the detail on this picture. Going to come very big. Next up is by Modern Folk Embroidery in the friendship pattern. And this is how it's going to look like once it's done. And here I need to, once it's focused, yes, here, the to and the name, and from and the name. Next up is the two Quaker sisters by Heaven and Earth Design, by, excuse me, Modern Folk Embroidery. So this is one, that's part one, and this is part two. The next four patterns are from Long Dog Samplers. So the first one is Count Your Blessings. This is how it's going to look like, how it's done. Next one is Foursome Reel, and the one that I'm doing, I would be doing, is the long one, because there are four there. It's not coming through to color. It's not focusing. Okay, there we go. It has a lot of blues, so I like the blues. That's why I chose this. Pot for Dicky. Very long one. And it's one color, so it's black. Trying to make it focus. Yes, there you go. And not the glare. Okay. And the St. George's. This is a very cool project as well. Next up, so we have the house Star Wars, in this house Star Wars. And this is how it's going to look like when it's done. In this house, the force is strong. Do or do not. There is no try, right? No try. Fear is the path to the dark side. If no mistake have you made, yet losing you are. Different game you must play. May the force be with you. We say I love you, I know, because in this house we do Star Wars. And there are different characters, which I really love. Next, it's a very small pattern and is very cool. Deadpool. My nephew is a fan of Deadpool. When he's seen it, told me, yes, stitch it for me. Patchwork number 22. Now, this has a story to it. So, this pattern reminds me of the different Maltese tiles that we use at home in our houses. And I thought, why not stitch it and hang it on the wall to remind us a bit about the different Maltese styles we have and had as well. Next up is a Mary Poppins sampler. These are all found on Etsy. Then there are different. There's the Harry Potter, if I'm not mistaken, Alice in Wonderland. So there's various, and there is the saying: in every job that must be done, there is an element for of fun. There is an element of fun. It reminds me of when I was younger and used to watch Mary Poppins on repeat. Next up, I've seen. Okay, yes. So I've seen Jen, the caffeinated stitcher, stitch the Norwegian flag by Vivian Powers on from Etsy, and I said, why not stitch the Maltese flag? And I found this pattern. Like that, I have something patriotic to stitch, and I love that there are different motifs on it. So I would just get one motif, one square, and would finish it. And I would do it that throughout the whole year. Next up is this pattern. I do not have the name of it. It's from Etsy. And this is how it's going to look like. Same thing. I thought I was looking at different to similar patterns related to tiles, and I found this, so I said why not. And I love how the colors blend with each other. Oh, basically that's it. I thought I had more. Yes, I do have more, but I need to put them on my computer, on my tablet. So for today, I mean, that's it for now. I would try to get more progress on my Disney characters. More progress. What else? Yes, on Pokemon and the cottage, because those are presents for sure. I think, yes, and Stardew Valley and the Heaven and Earth designs. I would try to stitch um, one every day, one project every day, so that I would have some work going on. Because we need to juggle everything, right? Um, that's all for today. Have a good day. Happy stitching. Stay safe.